when you're at the Graystone showroom there?
So this is actually one of the amenities in our rooftop. It's the wine room.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It has wine lockers that the residences can utilize if they're hosting like an event. And it has like, I like this. The reason why I use this as the backdrop is the island. Yeah, it illuminates, and especially like in the evening, it just glows in that space. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I guess I was saying, are you at the Greystone location though, that your guys'
Oh,
model
yeah.
showroom? Yeah.
Oh, not right now, no.
Yeah, isn't that
That is
lovely that
actually there
you
too.
don't have to actually be there? But your guys' space there is nice to have, right? That
Yeah.
it's like kitty corner from the building. It's very easy to bop in and out.
Yep.
And you guys have everything there. So I think that's very, very convenient for the buyers out there that are kind of looking to drop by and see what's, what you guys are doing. So
Totally. Yeah, we're actually, and I'll share that too, but we're looking to expand our models for more variety coming soon.
awesome. Cool. Thank you, Rachel, for joining today. It's kind of time for a Greystone update now that you guys are closing homes, and I've toured the building a couple times now, and every single time I go in, there's something new that's changed, or just kind of come to completion. And so wanted to get an update from you. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, should we start with maybe a just an overview of the building for people who just don't know or not familiar?
yes. So Graystone is located in the First Hill neighborhood. The building itself had grand opened its doors, full completion with furniture and models this past November, so just the past couple months. It's made up of 271 homes, and it has great amenities. Our first and second floor, when you walk in the first floor, the concierge space there, you'll be greeted by 24/7 concierge. The HOA management company is ran by Columbia Hospitality Group. And what makes, I would say, our first floor very special is the outdoor space. We have an amazing park area, which actually has a little history behind it. It's the original office space of Paul Fury, who was the architect that designed the Key Arena, which today is the Climate Pledge Arena.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's actually preserved space. So instead of, building additional homes on top of it, that outdoor park is dedicated to Paul Fury. And it has that really beautiful cascading waterfall edge that actually doubles to another amenity on our first floor. It acts as a privacy screen. So when you're working out in the gym, you kind of have this more tranquil water to look at cascading down the windows versus like a frosted glass.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first floor has that amenity space. And then when you walk up, we have this beautiful staircase that opens over the concierge lobby area. And the second floor is all co-working space for homeowners to be able to utilize, kind of like an extension of your office, but in the building, so you don't even have to leave your home. That entire space has a beautiful, there's a little gas fireplace that you can kind of cozy up with a really comfy couch. It outlooks the beautiful green tree-lined streets on 8th Street, where we're located in First Hill. And then we have a fun little flex room. It's actually closed off, so it's a little bit more quiet versus the open space work area. And then we'll be getting the pods that homeowners can utilize if they want to jump on a Zoom call. It gives them a little bit more privacy. And then from there, we have amazing 4 elevators. They're the fastest elevators for a condo building in Seattle. And so you'll take that up to the rooftop, which is located on floor 37. And from there, we have my favorite part, which is a 360-degree view of our rooftop. Any space, I should say, that you walk into, you'll have an amazing view of anything from the Olympics to the Cascade Range. You can even see Mount Baker on a really clear day. You can see from downtown Seattle to downtown Bellevue, and just a lot of great historical buildings in our neighborhood alone. So like First Hill, we have St. James Cathedral right behind us on 9th. And then also Sorrento Hotel, which is one of the older hotels in First Hill in Seattle. And yeah, you can see from Smith Tower, Elliott Bay,
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing the views that you do see from First Hill. And I think
Yeah.
one of the older buildings, First Hill Plaza, was one of the
Yes.
eye openers of being like, oh my gosh, look at the views from up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you guys are just in that perfect position of being able to see all the way to Bellevue, the
Mhm.
Cascades, Rainier, all the way around. I mean, it's
Yes,
pretty insane.
it
And then,
is.
like you said, the architecture around too, there's some pretty special kind of destination places for architecture that's specifically, plotted around you guys. So it makes it's more of a neighborhood feel
Yes,
also.
yes.
Yeah. Versus it
That's
being like a downtown high rise. You're definitely a high rise in a very boutique neighborhood.
correct. And I always highlight on that too, because what's nice is when you walk up and down the streets in First Hill, you have a lot of the green tree line streets, cobblestone roads, like the original cobblestone roads. And I always say that it's a great kind of location. What makes us special is because you're so close to Capitol Hill, where you have all the fun shops, restaurants, kind of like nightlife area. And then on the other side of us, when you cross over Madison, you have easy access to the downtown core. If you're commuting for work, it's very close by, or if you're shopping in the downtown core as well. I also really like to highlight the fact that we have such easy access to I-5 North and I-5 South from where we're located too. We're super close to the library, really great amenities all around us as well.
I'd say 90 too. You guys are really easy
And
to get to
92, yeah,
90.
we're like right off. You just
Yep.
get right off, and you have the direct exits to James, Madison,
Mhm.
and Dearborn, all right there too. So
Yep.
great
Yeah, it
location.
is. Last time I was there when we were doing a group tour, I actually Ubered there and then walked home. And
Oh,
it was crazy, walked over the overpass and then down Sixth. And it
yeah,
was crazy how quickly I got back to our building. It was like 10 minutes to be, in downtown core, or even on the north side of the downtown core. So
yeah. I've walked my little shopping trip down to Nordstrom underneath the
yeah,
convention center. And
yes,
I just wanted to test it to see. And it was actually a really easy and straight
pleasant.
forward walk. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm already here. So it was actually really great. And you get, your daily exercise too, being able to like have the option to walk around and be able to get to all these amenities around you. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's a good location.
Yes, yes. And to the point on kind of where we get our views on the rooftop, First Hill is obviously up on a hill, right? So what I also like to kind of touch base on is the advantage point it kind of gives us with the view. I think when you're on the ground level and you look up, you don't expect the views that we get from our rooftop. So we're up on that hill on that grade, and it almost makes you feel like you're in a taller building than 37 floors being on the rooftop. And so it also has kind of the feel when we have two outdoor spaces. So when you step out in our northwest corner that outlooks the downtown area, it's really nice because it's an open airy feel since we're kind of set back and you get to see the skyline and the downtown buildings and all of its beauty. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have those. And they're both like weather protected spaces. And
Yeah,
they,
there's
yeah,
there's covered space. So if it is raining, but you wanted to go up there to get a really nice evening view or afternoon view, you can stand underneath the protected space. We also have a double-sided fireplace up there too. One of the outdoor spaces will have barbecue grills, and then the secondary one, it's going to be in our southeast corner. It has the gas fireplace out there, so on a really nice evening, you can hang out there. It has like a very tranquil, like Zen park feeling. There's like pine trees and like this beautiful long grass up there too that surrounds you with all of the it has like a wooded bench and the flooring as well too, so very nature, like
yeah,
you're nature from up above, but you're in a high-rise building in the city. So
gotcha.
yeah.
So for the pet lovers out there, I think you guys have, yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yes. So on our first floor, if you have a dog, for example, you're walking them around the neighborhood, you come back into the building and entrance on the first floor. And right behind, you go past the elevators to the left, there's a enclosed, well, I should say it's a courtyard style, but it is enclosed, so it's protected from the public. So it's all residential. You walk in, there's a little dog walk area that you can bring your pet to relieve them there. If you don't want to leave the building in the evening, you know, just bring them there. And then there's also a dog washing station there, which is nice to have. You can, if it's like a muddy day out, you can rinse off their paws before going back into the rest of the building and up the elevator.
Great. Yeah, that's essential.
Yes, it definitely is. And then there's also, for example, some of the other amenity spaces that we have on the roof. I feel like that sets, I would say every high-rise building kind of has their special amenity spaces that sets them apart from other buildings. So the image that I have here is our wine room space. I think that makes our building very special. So every room also connects on the rooftop. That's why I was saying 360 degrees. They're all they all connect, but they can be separated. So if there's, for example, like a private event happening, you can reserve the space and then have just your party in there, but you can still bypass that room without disturbing anybody's party. But the wine room is really neat. You can see the illuminated island that we have there. So if you're hosting friends and family, you have that beautiful space. There's wine lockers in there, so that way you can set up your wine prior to the event. It's all nice and chilled. There's like an ice maker in there, refrigerator, so even if you wanted to have foods, you can't really see it, but on the back side of there's these really cool kind of seating area there with this blue velvet and brown leather seating area. Yeah, it's super cool.
It's just crazy from that room.
It is, and the views is all, so that would be north facing, and you get to see all of the downtown area. You could see Lake Union there. So it'd be really great to sit there, have a glass of wine on 4th of July and watch the fireworks.
Yeah. Are the wine lockers for sale, or is it going to be for rent through the HOA?
So right now they're just going to be for rent. Again, that could potentially change if the developer does decide to sell them. But as of right now, they're for rent for the homeowners to utilize. There's only 44 wine lockers total. So yeah. Great. And then from there, I would say another really cool space is we have a traditional game room that has the cool poker table, card table area, and a couple other spaces that we have are south facing towards Mount Rainier. This beautiful kind of private dining chef's kitchen area that's really beautiful. It has this long island, so you can host tons of friends and family there. And then next to that, our media room, which is in the southwest corner. And you know, if you're watching the game, you can actually look right behind you and feel like you're a part of the game behind you, because you can see both stadiums from there.
The fireworks and all that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good. Well, do you want to launch into, I guess, your floor plan plate? Like, what do you have? Floor plans and maybe some pricing too.
Yeah, totally. So the way that the building is broken up, we call the floors 3 to 19 our city suites. One full floor plate has a total of 12 homes, and it's going to be majority of our studio layout, open or an urban 1-bedroom, our traditional 1-bedroom. Those 1-bedrooms only get up towards like 600 square feet there. And then we do have a 2-bedroom floor plan layout. And what makes that very convenient and easy to remember is that pretty much if you see a floor plan you like, it mirrors on the opposite side of the building. So it's not like 12 different floor plans and all together in the city suite. So we have urbans facing west and east. And then we have our 2-bedroom in our southwest corner, and then on the opposite north east corner. And then we have our true 1-bedrooms facing north and south. And then the only floor plan that doesn't mirror is the studio, but that just faces true north. And then our sky suites are going to be floors 20 up to 35. Those will have a total of 8 homes on a full floor. 6 of them will be 2-bedrooms ranging from like 950 square feet over 1,100 square feet. And then we have our largest 1-bedroom layout, which is about 850 square feet. And those face west and east as well too. Okay. And then floor 36 is our penthouse level, and we have 4 penthouses, 1 on every single corner.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sweet. So you kind of have a little something for everyone then.
Exactly. Yeah. And then price point wise, I would say like our studios and open one bedrooms are going to be the homes that range in the low fours. And what's really great is you can get something all the way up to, for example, floor 19. We have a couple, I would say, unique levels where you get an additional foot of ceiling height. So let's say if you wanted a studio, right, on the either the 6th or the 19th floor, you get that extra bump of ceiling height. It makes the space feel a lot larger than what when you read the square footage off the floor plan. So any home located on those floors in the city suites will have the additional foot of ceiling height. And then in the sky suites, floors 23 and 35 will have that extra bump. And then our penthouses, the ceiling height goes over 11 feet. So it's very, very generous.
Yeah, that's nice. The ceiling height does matter for
It
sure.
definitely does. Yeah. And then kind of just jumping a little bit more. Yeah. So price point wise, sorry, the studios and open one bedrooms will be in the low fours. And our true one bedrooms in the city suites, I would say they kind of get into the higher fours, low fives, starting there, 500K. And the 2 bedrooms, we have them as low as, you know, mid 800s and up. And the great thing is, so how the parking is allotted to with these homes, there's 271 homes, but only 195 parking stalls. But every single 2 bedroom, regardless if it's in the city or the sky suite, comes with 1 parking included in the price point. Yeah. And then the sky suite 1 bedrooms, the larger ones I was mentioning, that were over 850 square feet, those will also come with 1 parking included. The studios, open 1 bedrooms, and the smaller under 600 square feet 1 bedrooms in these city suites will have the option to purchase parking. And that is, and you know, we have a handful available for, since we just opened, for people to be able to secure that now.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's better to get in now and get your parking if you're in that price range or in those homes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. What are they going for? What's parking?
Parking's valued at 75,000, and for a lot of people that I recommend, if you come tour our building, to definitely check out our garage. It is 4 levels underground, secured parking, and I would say it has one of the taller ceiling heights in a garage for clearance level. Yeah.
Nice.
So very spacious in there. You don't have to worry about doing like a 20-point turn when you're trying to get out of your stall. So yeah.
I think I saw some EV chargers in there too. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. What's nice is that the developer gave a variety. So depending on the type of EV vehicle you have, we have everything from a 30-watt, which is good for like a small or a mini charger, 40-watt, which is pretty your standard, and then 60-watt, which is like equivalent to a supercharger.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. And are those just peppered through the garage, or there's actual designated, I seem to recall some designated spots with them on the first level.
Yes, they're actually on every single level. We do have EV charging. The supercharger is only located on floor 1 of the parking, but the 30 and the 40 are definitely kind of spread out between the other levels, and it would be assigned to your stall. So you have your own EV charger located in your stall, and you get a fob. That's how you're able to unlock it. So it's not like anybody random can pull into your stall and start charging. Yeah.
That's smart.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
And then how about storage? Actually,
Yes.
you want to touch on that? Okay.
So storage, we have around roughly 88 storage units. They're located on the 1st and 2nd floors in the building. So again, those are kind of like an added value to your home. They're valued at 10K, which is great, especially if you're purchasing like a smaller like studio or an open 1 bedroom, and you just need somewhere to store like your luggage, or if you ski or snowboard, right, you can definitely store those larger items in there. Or even if you have a 2-bedroom home and you're downsizing and you still have a lot of items that you want to store away, that could also be added on to your home as essentially an upgrade.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I would say the other item that we're currently doing, as far as if you're looking to come and check out Graystone, we're doing kind of, since we just grand opened in November, this really great incentive for people, you know, to come in now. If you're purchasing a studio or an open 1-bedroom, you'll receive a $10,000 buyer bonus to be able to use towards like closing costs, rate buy down, definitely towards, like, for example, you want to use it towards storage or off parking, you could totally do that too. True 1-bedrooms will get 20,000, and then the 2 bedrooms will get 30,000.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's really great to be able to
Buy down.
utilize.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're wanting, for example, like a 2-bedroom already comes with parking, but let's say if you wanted to get a second stall, you have that extra 30K to utilize. Also, for everybody, regardless of the floor plan you're getting, the HOA dues for the year of 2024 are going to be covered for you as well. So you won't have to start paying those dues until January of 2025. And some of the dues that are included in that, I think it's really great to know exactly what you're paying for. And so that will include your gas. And one thing that makes Graystone special is that we're one of the last buildings to be permitted for gas.
Yep.
So your range will also be gas. And so, yeah, it'll cover your gas, your water, sewer, garbage, compost, recycling, those items. It pays for the 24/7 concierge, all the amazing amenities that we have on the roof and throughout the building. It also will cover general things too, like earthquake insurance, for example. So you're only paying for your home's electricity, which is metered to your home. So you're only paying for what you use, and then your own internet, whichever provider you decide to utilize. So I know right now we have 2 that have been determined, which is Atlas and then Xfinity Comcast.
Gotcha. Yeah, it'll be the fast fiber.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And yes, that is something that's good to remind everyone that we will be just going to an for all new construction, electric, stoves.
Yeah.
So, the gas is going to be kind of something that's obsolete or in the older buildings and not something that's going to be in the newer construction. So
Correct. Yeah. And I think that's definitely, I know there's always a 50-50 crowd when it comes to cooking, right?
I mean, some people really are like, no, I have to have gas stove. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
a requirement for a lot of buyers out there. And then other ones are actually, I've run into some buyers recently who are like, oh no, I don't even know how to cook on it. So those ones are easy.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, the gas stoves are going to be something that it's not, you won't find it unless it's in our older inventory. So
Correct. Yeah. And speaking of, I guess the kind of the other things too that I forgot to mention about the homes is they're essentially move-in ready. All the appliances come with. So speaking of the stove, everything is in the kitchen, Bosch appliances. So your refrigerator, your dishwasher, it is all included. Yep, exactly. The washer and dryer will be full size Electrolux for every single home. Also, what's really nice, what the developer has done is there's no carpet in any of the homes. I feel like a lot of times now with newer homes, people are looking for, all hardwood floors throughout the entire home. So kind of those like feedback items that have been thoughtfully, put into Graystone. So no carpets, even in like the studio, larger 2 bedrooms. It's all engineered hardwoods throughout. Also the showers, for example, I noticed like prior I've done and seen other condos that have like, if it's just 1 bed, 1 bath, it's the tub and shower combo. A lot of our restrooms in the building have the beautiful glass shower doors throughout. And I know a lot of people, again, like a 50-50 crowd, right? It's like they only want to take a shower.
yeah. No, I hear you. But that's a nice touch. And a lot of owners choose to upgrade in other buildings that so it's an upgrade that's actually included.
Yeah, and they're very spacious. Even our smallest studio that's like 517 square feet has a very spacious, beautiful restroom. Everything color scheme wise coordinates throughout the home. So we have a warm and a cool tone pretty much. And the kitchens will have like the contrasting either backsplash tile or contrasting top cabinets versus the lower cabinets as well. And yeah, I think it's all just like really well done. Looks wise, it's very modern. I feel like throughout the years, it'll definitely age well. All the amenity spaces in the building, I think, make it also another reason why you want to choose a condo lifestyle to live in too. It's, great amenities where you feel like you're getting a lot out of the space.
Mhm.
You're not necessarily always having to leave. I mean, it's great that in the location that we're in, you can still get to, as I mentioned, downtown or Capitol Hill, but it's also nice knowing that you can feel like you're being able to have an extension of your home with these amenity
Yep,
spaces.
exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. I also wanted to mention for any investors who are looking to purchase, one thing that I think Greystone stands out to me is the fact you guys could do midterm leases. So it's a 90-day minimum requirement on rental terms, and not a lot of buildings offer that. Obviously there's pros and cons to short-term rentals, but midterm, and especially where you guys are situated, being that you're so close to, let's say, the hospitals, it's really like the target market for an investor to come in, buy let's say an open one bedroom or one of the one bedrooms or even a studio,
Yeah.
furnish it, and then do a furnished finder, 3-month term or longer, with the traveling nurse, right?
100%. That is, I would say, on the investor standpoint, like the ideal demographic, because we have Polyclinic, Swedish, Virginia Mason, Harborview all around us, and it's all walkable. And with a lot of the traveling nurses, it's great to be able for them to have just this awesome building with amenity spaces, a furnished home, to your point, even if it's a studio space or a larger one bedroom, whatever the floor plan they decide to do, but it's all walkable and you target that huge medical demographic.
Yeah.
And also too, for the tech workers, that still want to have their space away from the downtown core, but it's still very close for them, you still can target that demographic 100%.
Totally. Yeah. I'm going to be kind of promoting it to a couple investors that we have, just because I think it's a unique building. There's not another building that I know of that does the 90-day.
Yes.
Because again, you want to keep the integrity of the building and you want to know who's, rent, all those things. And so
Yeah.
it's just a very classy way of allowing those midterm or shorter term quote unquote lease agreements. So
Agreed. Yeah, it's really great. And we don't have, to your point, keeping things like residential, because at least if for example, the traveling nurse that is renting that home, you'll know them for the 3 months. But we also don't have any commercial space in our building. So it's all residential. That 3 months still helps with keeping things, where it's not short-term Airbnb, it's at least 3 months or more. So yeah, to your point.
people treat it like their home. It's not transient in nature. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed. That was a really, really, really good recap of it, like everything. I think we talked about incentives and your showroom. I guess you guys are available to do, if you want to talk about just your hours and kind of scheduling appointments for people.
Definitely. So myself and my colleague Doug, we are both the listing agents for the building. So feel free to reach out. Doesn't matter what day, all 7 days, you can reach out by appointment. Doug and I do private showings. So you can contact us directly, and we can, coordinate, meet you there. So yeah, morning, evening, afternoon, we're definitely open to do private showings. And then I was going to mention, we do have 4 beautiful model homes. However, we will be expanding that in the next month or 2, I should say. We'll start doing some of our sky suites modeled out. That way there's a good variety throughout the entire building to see different types of homes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's been
Of course.
great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll of course link all your contact information, and to keep everyone updated. Maybe we'll do this again in, 6 months or something, and you guys will be 75% occupied.
Yes.
Aiming for
Love
that.
it.
But yeah, we'll touch base back again and just kind of get an update later on this year. But thank you. I really do appreciate your time and wishing you guys the best there, because I think it's a good product for the neighborhood and a good value too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Sweet. All right. Well, have a great day. Thanks
too.
everyone
Take
for
care.
joining.